We got it. So let's start off with these topics, and then we got a list here. I'm gonna mix it up a little bit, okay?
Okay.
And
Okay.
the first thing we're going to touch on is something that we kind of touched on a little bit in the morning announcements, which is Elden Ring. From Software's newest darling has been put out there, right? We kind of were saying before that it felt like a niche that has grown to sustain this company and the games they kind of put out. So let's talk about, or let's give our opinions on From Software. Is From Software overrated or underrated, and why?
Whew. Who wants to take it?
Um, I'll take it first
Go on, Jeremy.
Okay.
because I already put out a video and a TikTok mocking these people that tell you to get good, playing games where you just have to recognize boss fight patterns. That's all it is. I contain that's still all it is. I believe that From Software is overrated. Okay.
Whew.
Why is it overrated? For one, not great storytellers. Okay. I feel like that's a big skill you got to have. They're lore masters. That's great. Bungie's also lore masters, and they blow. We've said they blow, right? So yeah, From Software not able to tell compelling narratives. Are they able to do world building? Yes, they're one of the greats at doing world building. Okay, I'll give them that. As far as their approach to combat, it's good. It's well thought out. It's not innovative. Okay, and so you can have combat that is good, is fair, but it's not innovative. Okay, and then lastly, they spawned this whole gaggle of people that think because I know how to recognize boss patterns that I'm a great gamer. No, you just recognize boss patterns after you've died the 17th time to the boss. That's all it is. Okay. So overall, From Software, overrated. That's me.
Whew. Okay. If I could jump in before you,
Sure.
David.
Go. What you
Uh,
got?
Jeremy, your points were mostly valid, but I think you took a little bit too much of like the outside world into factors. You know, the people around From Software. It spawned this. It spawned this. Like, as for From Software, I think they're underrated a little bit because all they do is put out game of the years. That's all they do. And they put them out pretty frequently. We had just talked about like there was like a 3-year gap between Sekiro and Elden Ring. Elden Ring is a literally 60 to 100-hour RPG. And you said they don't do good storytelling. So you're playing an RPG that's not, I'm not going to say bogged down because I love stories and games, but it's not extended by massive cutscenes or huge story dumps. Like it's really just gameplay and discovery, and that's what you're doing in this game. So like to make a game 3 years after their other game that won game of the year, it's amazing because like you don't see this with any other company. CD Projekt Red, how long does it take them between games to come out? You know, it was 4 or 5 years in between Witcher 3 and Cyberpunk, and it'll probably be another 4 or 5 years. Same thing with like Bethesda, the Elder Scrolls team. How long have we been waiting? 10 years? You know, I think they did Fallout in between
Right.
that, but it's still like these guys since the very beginning of their Souls, you know, life. Because I know they did Armored Core before that and a couple other games. They've really been putting out like game of the year contenders, and now they're winning them. So they're very close to being overrated. You know, because like you said, who rates these people? It's the fan bases. You know, that's where we're getting these ratings from, and they're obnoxious. They can be very obnoxious, but I think at the end of the day, you look at a company that throws out a game every couple years, and you know you're getting some of the highest quality. They should be looked at the same as like the Zelda team, maybe even better, because every time Zelda team makes a game of the year, it takes them a little bit longer than From Software to make games. So it's incredible to me that they're pumping out games like this, and you know you're getting quality, and you know you're getting one of the best.
I will
So
say
a tad
briefly.
underrated.
I will say briefly, the fact that they did make the Armored Core games makes me like them a little bit more. Just a little
Right? I've never played them. Are they
bit.
real
I played the
real
first like
good
one or
games?
two. They were really fun when I was little. They were really fun.
Okay. All
Big
right.
old mech shooting cannons. Cool.
Were they difficult? Was that like what they were
Nah,
leaning on? Or they're
nah.
just fun. Okay. I wouldn't mind if they went back to that a little bit,
Yeah,
you know, like just a fun game mixed with like their stuff.
yeah. What's your thoughts, David?
Okay, so I've been debating this in my head while you guys have been talking, and I'm gonna have to go with underrated.
Ooh.
But I do agree with a lot. I agree with everything Jeremy said. I also agree with everything you said, Corey. But it's also their fan base is happy with their games, so I guess that's good,
Yes.
obviously. And until they do something like I guess CD Projekt Red, maybe then they'll be overrated. But I mean, as long as they're doing what their customers want, I guess that's all for them. I don't agree with them. Like I don't agree with the no difficulty thing, and I don't agree with some other things. But I don't play them, so why should my opinion matter?
So like I think like when you look at like the hardcore fans, man, they say like, oh, there's no game like From Software games, and yes, from their perspective, very overrated, right? Very overrated from their perspective. It's not the only game you should play, or you shouldn't have to get good. But like I think when you look at the media as a whole, I don't think From Software is appreciated as much as some other companies, as a top tier company like CD Projekt Red before Cyberpunk came out. Like that was like, hey, we know this game's going to be one of the best of all time. And
Right.
I don't think From Software has looked like that from those people. So
Well, we'll see what they do because Elden Ring is their Witcher 3.
yeah. So how do they
Like,
follow that up?
yeah,
So yeah, right. So
exactly.
now they're in the same space. See what
And
they
and
do.
they're and they're definitely with the big boys. Like Sekiro got them there because it was published by Activision at one Game of the Year. Probably sold a good number of copies.
Mhm.
But this one, like you said, 12 million. Everyone's playing it, even people that aren't interested in this type of gameplay. So they're really out there for everyone to kind of critique.
Mhm.